Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that.
It's week 2 of Flagler Fantasy Baseball. With week 1 in the books shortly, it's about that time to look at the matchups for week numero dos. It's for our Spanish-speaking owners.
Welcome, owners! It's nice to be back in front of the camera, especially after I gave Nails a beatdown last week. I can see why he wanted to skip town on a choir trip.
Colin, let's not waste any more time and get right into this week's matchups. Would you like to wager 5 free shots of sting pong for picking the winners this week?
I would love to do that, Brett, and I'm going to win.
Well, anyways, the first matchup this week will be Brian Harrell's Indiana Dykstras at Brad Jackson's Better Luck Next Year. What do you think here, Colin?
It doesn't really get closer than this matchup. Better Luck Next Year, terrible offense, great pitching. Dykstras, great offense, horrendous pitching. With that said, I like Better Luck Next Year to take stolen bases and stop the Dykstras. Final score, Better Luck Next Year 7, Indiana Dykstras 5.
All right, my breakdown, Indiana Dykstras. I said they'd have the best batting average in the league. I was wrong. Their average is way down, but their home run totals are high. They can't get on base. I see a big week from D. Lee, 2 to 3 home runs. They go 2 Pittsburgh, 2 Philly. Big week out of him. He's going to get two starts from Daisuke, 2 from Arroyo. Is that good? We'll find out. Ichiro will hit better than 250, what he hit this last week. Better luck next year. Santana starts Sunday, had a good start, probably going to get a loss. He's only going to get 1 start out of Santana, 1 start out of CC. They both went on Sunday. Russell Martin, 1 for 15. Terrible. Abreu playing Kansas City and Boston. I see a big week out of Abreu. Big week. Lincecum will also get have a big start this week over a light-hitting San Diego. With that said, Dykstra's got too much offense. 8-4, Indiana Dykstras.
The next matchup on the docket will feature the Venezuelan machine of Team Marquez, and the Cat is back with a vengeance. How do you see this one shaping up, Brett?
Cat is back. 2 starts from Carmona. His team was batting 194 before Sunday. 194. It's awful. Alfonso Soriano, 1 for 22. You like the Cubs. He's your favorite player in the Cubs, and he bats 1 for 22. Cut him. Get rid of him. One thing I do like about Cat is back, he picked up Carlos Gomez from the Twins. He's a spark plug. Look for him to steal a lot of bases. Marquez, I don't think he looks at his roster. Hands down. I don't think he's probably watched any of these videos. He doesn't look at anything. That's why he's going to have 50 at-bats, get 20 hits. Maybe not. But he had Brzezinski batting 500, Hanley Ramirez over 430. I like Marquez in a tight one, 6-4.
The Cat is back apparently just picked pitchers and forgot that 6 categories are on offense also. His squad, as I look today, was actually batting 188, which is just awful. Luckily, he has stolen base potential to win 1 category. But since Jorge doesn't change his roster and still has Lackey and Kadire starting, the edge has to go to the Cat. Final score, the Cat 9, Jorge 3.
The third matchup pairs Brandon Coge's Blue Ducks versus Brandon Raposa's Bo Sox Nations. What's the prediction for this one, Colin?
The Blue Ducks have put solid numbers across the board this week, but Bo Sox Nation gets Beckett back. He didn't do that good today, but we'll see what he does next week. The key to this week will probably be Mark Teixeira, in my opinion. He had a down first week, but I see him bouncing back with at least 3 home runs this week. Mark it down. Final score, Blue Ducks 9, Bo Sox Nation 3.
Weird. Blue Ducks, he didn't have a great week last week, but he got a big win over Seabass and the fellas. Seabass's team, straight terrible. I also had Teixeira with a big week. They go 2 Colorado, a lot of bombs, 2 Washington, a lot of bombs. I see him hit over 300 with 5 to 10 RBIs. JJ Putz on the DL for the Ducks, that hurts. That hurts big time. But Don Turrell had a quality start on Saturday, and David Wright is going to get a little payback versus Philly for that late season run they had last year. Bo Sox Nation, you're a Red Sox fan. Why do you have 5 Yankees on your team? I don't understand. This doesn't make any sense. I don't like your offense, and the real Carlos Pena is showing. 214. That's the Carlos Pena I expect to see. I take Ducks 9-3. Weird. Yep. I just think too much bad karma for Bo Sox Nation with 5 Yankees on his team.
Our next matchup is between Kirby's Crew and Nails Belvedere's. A matchup of the brothers, a house divided. You going to grow a pair and pick yourself this week?
Maybe. It's not good for Kirby's Crew. I had 2 Martinez's go down. Victor hurt his hammy. He is playing a little bit. We'll see. Pedro on the DL. Cut him. Get rid of him. Prince Fielder batting 429 going into Sunday. I like to see him have a big week again. And I have Fukudome syndrome. He's batting 500 before Sunday. Fukudomi, my new favorite player. Belvedere, his stat is brutal. Brutal. Cordero's on the DL, 0 closers. Good luck getting a save. I see Morneau, Holiday, and Poppy. They all hit under 150 this week. 150. I see them to turn around. I see it a close one, but I have some stones. I'm going to pick myself. 7-5, Kirby's crew.
Brett, your squad swept through the offensive categories in week 1 with the help of Fukudomi.
Fukudomi!
I don't know what syndrome that is that you said you have, but okay. It was weak against the worst offense in the league. Nice low 200 batting average for you, Paul. The key this week will be Roy Oswalt for nails. If Oswalt and Harang can bounce back from a poor first week, he can sneak a pitching category 2 with Pedro being on the DL. With that said, I like Brett's offense to crush nails. Final score, Kirby's crew 8, Belvedere's 4.
The fifth matchup on this week's menu is Paul Matthews' I Love the Pirates versus your Fighting Kennelly's. Let me guess, 12-0 stomping?
Well, actually, I'm going to predict mine early. I'm going to predict a tie. No, I'm not going to predict a tie. I'm going to work him 12-0. Sorry, Paul, you douchebag. Paul's the worst offense in the league, so I'll mark myself down for 6 wins there. On to pitching, I think this will be a good matchup, actually. Paul's a slew of aces, but so do I. My boy Johnny Cueto may be the wild card this week with 2 starts, 12-0 Kennelly's.
Bold. Pirates, only 1 start from Peavy and Webb this week. They both threw on Saturday. He had 1 guy on his entire roster hit over 300. Ryan Howard, 214. Hunter Pence, 182. Jason Bay, 143. I could do that, I think. No, maybe not. Anyway, chops. Might be a long summer. You got to have your staff to carry you, but Kennelly's has a good staff also. Kennelly's going to get 2 start from Hamels, 2 from Felix. Maybe 1 from Felix. 1 from Felix. Through today. You can get 1 from Felix. Pujols, 6 for 12 this week going into Sunday, but he only had 1 RBI. I see those numbers to increase. He's seeing the ball well. Johnny Cueto, unreal, 10 Ks. Still, I'm going to take the Pirates in a close one, 6-5.
Terrible. And now it's time for our game of the week. This week it's Seabass and the Fellas and owner Pat Riggles versus Mike Votes Kokanee Sasquatches. Brett, how do you see this game of the week turning out?
The reason this is the game of the week, Colin, it's the former champ versus the newcomer. How's it going to shape up? First thing, Seabass, you got routed last week. Absolutely destroyed. Team was terrible. You sent me a text complaining that all we talked about was your closers. Well, I say that's fair. Your team was hitting 217 so far. You said you had the best hitters in the league. Haven't seen it. 6 stolen bases, 7 saves so far. You can run, you can close. That's about it. That's all I see right now. It's exactly what I said. Rios and Ankiel, Miggy, I think they're going to step up. They have to if you want to win. Kanoki Sasquatches, I was all over your team last week saying you had terrible players. You put it in my face. I don't think you have enough. I'm going to go with the experience. Seabass, 8-3.
Seabass was the champion last year.
Seabass was the champion last year.
All right, well, he's going to need a monster week from Miguel Cabrera and Lance Berkman. Even if that does happen, I don't think he has enough to beat Votes' offense. Jose Reyes, Carlos Beltran, Sean Figgins, and a healthy Chipper Jones will carry Vote on offense. I can predict only 1 win for Seabass. Saves. Final score, Kokanee 11, Seabass 1.
Now it's time for a new segment on our show, the Staples Difference Maker of the Week.
That was easy.
My pick is Staples Difference Maker. Johnny Cueto, 7 innings pitched, 10 Ks, 0 base on balls, 1 hit, a .14 whip for your Kennelly's. What an unbelievable start by Johnny Cueto. Last week you said he could be the difference maker. I just gave you a funny face. No idea who he was. 10 Ks, Johnny Cueto, Staples Difference Maker.
That was easy.
Johnny Cueto's a baller. Now for my Staples Difference Maker of the Week.
That
It's
was
weird,
easy.
I'll be choosing a player off your squad. I'll go with Kosuke Fukudome.
Fukudome!
Kosuke batted .444 with a bomb, 5 runs, 5 RBIs, and a steal. Not to mention that awesome home run off Eric Gagne. That's
That
my
was
player of the
easy.
week.
That was easy.
That's all for this week. Make sure you tune in for next week's show as we will see one of us getting drilled with ping pong balls.
It'll be Colin. Thanks for tuning in to Week 2 of Flagler Fantasy Baseball Show, and we will see you next week!
What I'm telling you, I keep away from a runaround Sue, yeah. My Mr. Lips and a smile on her face, the touch of her hand and this girl's warm embrace. So if you don't want to cry like I do, I keep away from a runaround Sue.